Hello and welcome to Laurice's Kitchen. I like to make bread, so today I'm putting together my homemade dinner rolls. This recipe already shows up in our much longer Thanksgiving special, but I figured it was high time to give them their own time in the spotlight. Let's see what we're gonna need. My dinner rolls are essentially brioche buns, so we're using milk, eggs, and butter, along with a good half cup of sugar because I like them kind of sweet. I've also got yeast, wheat gluten, and a decent amount of salt. We'll be using close to 5 to 6 cups of all-purpose flour. And as always, the ingredients are always listed here, as well as the full recipe and instructions in the description box below. We'll be starting with the sponge, so we need to heat our milk to between 110 and 120 degrees first. Now that this milk is warm, we're dissolving both the sugar and the salt in it. I think it's easier to mix everything together if you do that. We're starting with 2 cups of flour in the mixing bowl along with the wheat gluten and yeast. I'm mixing this by hand first because if we put this on the mixer, the flour is just going to fly everywhere. And remember, we're using the paddle attachment and not the dough hook first. This is going on the mixer on medium-low for about 3 to 4 minutes or until it's very smooth. Then we add in the butter. Now this needs to mix until the butter is completely melted, which is why I cut it into cubes first. Now that the butter's all melted, we can add in the eggs one at a time. We're going to let this continue to mix until it is very smooth. We scrape down the sides, add about 1.5 cups of flour, and now we change over to the dough hook. This mix is on low. We're going to mix this until all the flour is incorporated. It should be very sticky still. After that, we can add about 1/2 cup of flour to this mixture. We're going to continue to add between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup of flour at each addition. We want to make sure that it's completely incorporated. We don't want to use too much because we want this dough to be nice and soft, but not sticky. Now that this is pretty clean in the bowl, I'm just going to add a couple more tablespoons of flour and let it continue to knead for about 2 more minutes. We're turning this dough out onto the clean, dry granite. I don't want to add any more flour to this. I'm going to knead this into a ball shape, and then it's going in a greased bowl and in my unheated oven to rise until it's nearly doubled. That should be between 1.5 hours and 2 hours. It's cool in my kitchen today, so I think it's going to be closer to the 2-hour mark. Now that this dough has risen, we're going to punch it down and divide it into 24 even pieces, or as even as I can get them. I'm rolling each of these into a nice tight ball shape. Then they're going on a half sheet pan that I've sprayed with just a little bit of nonstick cooking spray. All 24 will fit on here. These are going back in my unheated oven to rise for about an hour and 15 minutes or until they're touching each other. I'm brushing these with egg white mixed with about a teaspoon of water. This will give them a nice glossy top. Now it's into that 375-degree oven for 18 minutes. I do have the convection oven on. We're going to let these cool for about 10 minutes. They are really too hot to handle. I have been waiting to give these a taste. This is still nice and warm. Oh, it's velvety. Oh my heavens. No butter needed with these. Thank you for visiting Laurice's Kitchen. If you enjoyed this video, give the like button a click and don't forget to leave a comment. We're always happy to hear from you. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and don't keep us a secret. Share our videos with your friends and family. You can follow us on Facebook for behind-the-scenes pics and videos, and on Twitter for upcoming videos and the random cat picture.